it's very easy to carry out false flags because there's no independent media.
Okay. Let's go down the road then of conspiracy theories, so-called.
Conspiracy theories,
Because you question man-made global warming.
yes.
You're on the same page as Piers Corbyn in that sense, and you say it's...
And also there's a man called Alex Epstein.
Okay.
A very amazing thinker, Alex Epstein, who's a philosopher who just went to study all these issues from a proper philosophical reasoning point of view.
Because some people, when it comes to conspiracy theories, it seems that they have to believe them all. So I'm going to run a few by you,
Yeah.
quite rapidly, and just give me your take on it.
Okay then.
So we've got global warming, not man-made. 9/11.
Definitely not by the Muslims. Inside job, without doubt.
Let's go with
Sandy Hook. You like Sandy Hook?
Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook, I would say, if they can do 9/11, they can do Sandy Hook.
Okay.
So for me, the 9/11 was the classic. If they get away with that, they get away with anything.
Okay, vaccines. Yes. Do vaccines cause autism?
This I don't know. I don't know. But I don't think that parents should be forced to use vaccines on their children. It should be a choice by parents. What worries me is that the conspiracy, if there is one, is to force the public to have to accept for their children vaccines without really proving to parents that they're safe.
Okay, I mean, I think
so. That's a slightly different thing.
I think the autism and vaccine thing has been put to bed and has been disproven.
Maybe, yes, I've heard that.
That doesn't mean that
there aren't side issues with vaccines. There have to be side issues with vaccines.
Vaccine has to be taken on its own merits. I know in Ireland there's a big backlash against Gardasil, a particular vaccine, and the people that are protesting the use of that one are not calling for people to abandon vaccinations altogether. And that's the thing. Everything has to be taken on its merits.
Yes,
just because 9/11 might have been an inside job, it doesn't mean that Sandy Hook.
There's no might. It was an inside job.
Okay.
I have not even 1% doubt. Not even a millionth of a percent doubt.
7/7 in London.
7/7. Yes, there's doubts about that because they had a training exercise the same day. It's a bit of a coincidence.
Okay.
Because training exercise gives you the chance to make videos which show all emergency staff and so on. So you could fabricate. All these things seem to happen at the same time as training exercises.
Okay.
It seems to be the modus operandi of these false flags.
But if there are vast swathes of Iraq that have been overrun with jihadists who have declared their Islamic State.
Yes.
Radical Muslims obviously do exist.
Oh yes,
and
they do. They certainly do.
Carry out terrorist attacks.
Oh, they do. Yes.
So presumably there have been at least a few real ones, genuine ones.
But I think that the West might really set up like honey traps to encourage this behaviour.
Well,
so, for instance, if the deep state wanted to create resentment against the Muslims, they would actually try to instigate this jihadism. Well, even if we know there is an undercurrent, but if you sort of instigate it as well by having these websites online, maybe run by the CIA, who entrap these people, prepare the plans for them.
Okay.
Right? I've heard there's training centres in America
I
where
don't think it wouldn't even have to be that clever. If the police claim that they are foiling about 50 attempted terrorist attacks per year anyway, then if you want one this week, all you've got to do is take your eye off the ball and let one of them slip through the net. I think that's more likely than, these are all fake. I mean, I have my doubts about 9/11, but I also know logically there will be genuine terrorist attacks also.
And there can be.
It becomes very. You lose a lot of respect for people who immediately just say, no, it's all fake. They're all actors. It's not real. We have to investigate each and every.
Well, yes, we should investigate. One of the problems is when you have centralised media, there is no diverse source of investigation. So then people start to doubt because they know that centralised media is controlled. The narratives are controlled from some source. Yeah. So if the narratives can be controlled, it's very easy to carry out false flags because there's no independent media. Okay. So this means that what people are really saying, we don't trust centralised media. There's not enough independent source of journalism that is entering the public domain to ensure that there aren't false flags. It's the perfect environment for false flags. Yeah. If you control the media, you can create as many false flags as you like.
For sure.
You just create the narrative.
For sure, and I have no doubt there are false flags that have. I could name ones that have been proven to be as such.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that every time.
No, there won't be every time. No, definitely not. There will be radical jihadis, just as there are radical actions by the West in this bombing.
Okay, give me a shot.
Next Sunday, that's time.
Give me a shot. Give me a shot.
When drones are used and they know that they kill 80% civilians,
Yeah.
is that radical or not? That's like a radical murder.
certainly
It's precision bombing, drone bombing, but it will kill, according to their own estimates, those who carry out the drone attacks, the Americans who carry out drone attacks, is 80% collateral damage. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So what are we equating what with? You see? So it's very much a political struggle. Some people see Islam as a very political religion, not a spiritual religion. It lends itself to a political struggle. So that creates an issue when there is this political confrontation with some sort of authority.
I think it's more easily politicized than other.
Yes, I do.
religions.
I think it's more easily politicized.
Yeah.
And I also think that once you have spread the idea that about 9/11 and Muslims did 9/11, which they didn't, you actually may create a feeling in the Muslims, well, they think we're bad, so let's be bad. Because some people say that, they feel if they're accused of something, well, why don't I just go and do it? They're going to accuse me of it anyway. So I think there has this perverse feedbacks that come from these false flag actions.
Good point.
And so when I say to Muslims, I don't believe there was one Muslim involved in 9/11, it shocks them. Because I'm not ready to believe they're automatically bad. Oh, every time some claim is made that they've done something, I don't automatically believe it.
Yeah.
And certainly not 9/11, because on 9/11 you see the fake video, the plane went in the building and out the other side. And then they covered it up when they did the replay, covered it up with a logo. I've never seen anything so fake in my entire life. I've never seen anything so fake. But who did 9/11 then? No, they couldn't possibly, jihadis couldn't possibly get access to the Twin Towers to plant bombs. The security arrangements are incredible on the Twin Towers. So there's only one group could do it, who had access to the Twin Towers.
And we'll find out on next week's show.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Julian.
much, Julian.
Thank you.
Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know.
Thank you. That worked out okay, didn't it?
Perfect.
Quite good. Thank you, Julian. I like that.
Nice one.